What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai, an extension of Anime Senpai PH channel. All pieces of information are derived from the light novel. In today's video, we will continue chapter 2, volume 8 of the light novel, entitled The Invitees. This video is the 11th part of chapter 2 in our Tensura spoiler video series. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, feel free to check out the links in the description below. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Leaving Mjolmile's house, Rimuru breathed a sigh of relief. So glad Mjolmile said yes to that. He seemed ready to take the invite too, so I should be expecting him shortly. One thing Rimuru couldn't say about his monsters is that any of them were good on financial matters. Rimuru was having Shuna handle the account books for them, but she couldn't do that forever. A village is one thing, but a full-fledged nation is another. Shuna would be in over her head. Lilina in the management department and Vester from the Dwarven Kingdom were helping, but Rimuru wasn't sure even that would be enough. That's why Mjolmile came to mind. His brain revolved around money in ways few people ever experienced. Mjolmile had connections with nobility, and he was running businesses in multiple countries. It seemed a waste for him to remain a merchant forever. Rimuru was sure Mjolmile would be a great help to him. Besides, they had a good working relationship. If Mjolmile could handle finances for them, maybe Mjolmile would allow Rimuru a little more spending money to work with. Rimuru had been running a few side hustles with him before, but now Rimuru could picture that extra income ballooning. Their treasury's pretty well endowed. But taking money out of it for himself, despite not paying any salary to his staff, seemed kind of low. Everyone always said, "Oh, it's all yours, Sir Rimuru," but that just made him all the more reluctant. It felt wrong, and Rimuru wanted that money to help with expanding their nation. Still, Rimuru needed some of it. He wanted to take people like Datta out at night every now and then, even if Rimuru didn't have much interest in it. Veldora was whining at me about that, too, and you know how you go through cash pretty quick at nightclubs. Not that I had much interest, that is. No, really. But while it was a drop in the bucket for their treasury, if it was his personal money, Rimuru was sure Datta and Veldora would burn through it like it was nothing. Plus, Shuna usually provides Rimuru with money, but if Rimuru tells her where he's going, she snaps that wallet shut, and he can't really tell her it's his money then, so. This was why Rimuru was running a few side jobs for extra spending cash. And with his future expansion, he had a feeling money wouldn't be a worry for much longer. That battle tournament was a pretty neat idea, too. Mjolmile is such a talented guy. Rimuru wasn't sure how he would take it, but Mjolmile demonstrated some real enthusiasm as they brainstormed the plan. It barely took Mjolmile a moment to suggest running a tournament to attract visitors, then take advantage of the crowds to sell potions and equipment. He's got a forward-looking eye and a knack for great ideas, that's for sure. Once Rimuru gets back, he'll need to get themselves an arena to work with. Geld was busy with urban planning work over in the Beast Kingdom, and Mildo was supporting Geld. Without their two main building specialists, Rimuru would have to oversee the operation. But that's fine. After running all these construction projects, one after the other, they were starting to build a well-trained staff, enough so that Rimuru was mostly giving orders and not doing much else. Rimuru knew about this craftsman named Gobkyu, who worked under the tutelage of Mildo, and Gobkyu was involved with town architecture enough that Rimuru thought an impressive circular arena would be in Gobkyu's wheelhouse. The job would normally take a decade or so, but if you run the job with monster muscle, Rimuru thought they could cut that down a lot, down to maybe the 2 months or so they had until the festival. Even Rimuru had to admit that was far too little time to get everything done, so for now, he at least wanted the central fighting stage to be completed. But how would we design it?
Understood. From my master's memories, I have found the Colosseum of Rome. Building blueprints using it as a base. Completed.
Well, that was easy. Rimuru had some paper on hand, so he drew up the plans, adding his own style to it. This alone would normally take several months, surveying the site, calculating soil strength, that kind of thing. You could often spend a whole year on that kind of preliminary stuff. And here Rimuru was, drawing up blueprints that'd normally take several days at a computer on their equivalent of a cocktail napkin. Raphael's support helped a lot even with detailed work like this. It honestly felt unfair to him, but Rimuru had no plans to give it up, so. Now he had his plans. Next Rimuru would have to discuss them with Gobkyu, but before that, while Rimuru was here in Bloomond, he may as well stop at the Free Guild. He could forward the plans over to Gobq in the meantime. Once Rimuru was free, he could assemble a team of craftsmen on site to get down to business.
Ranga, you there?
Here, my master.
Ranga popped his head out from Rimuru's shadow. With things settled over in Farmus, everyone except Diablo was back home, with Ranga lurking in his shadow like it was his personal den. Rimuru gave him the arena blueprints he had just whipped up.
Take these to a craftsman in town named Gobq. And can you tell him we'll meet up at the West Gate once I'm free?
Very well, but are you not returning, Sir Rimuru?
No, I want to see Fuse first, while I'm here.
Will you not need a bodyguard?
Ranga looked a bit nervous, tail down. But Rimuru wasn't concerned. He is a demon lord, and he had absolute defense activated. If Rimuru ran into an attack that could penetrate that barrier, he wouldn't be safe anywhere in this world.
I'll be fine. We'll just chat a bit, and then I'll head back. But I should be concerned about Mjolmile, huh? He's gotten kind of tangled up with this one bottom feeder noble, and there's no telling what the fallout from that is gonna be like.
Ah, that vulgar man from before? Would you like me to snuff him out?
Please, no. Doing that in a foreign city is how you trigger a diplomatic crisis.
You know, I think you've been hanging out with Xian too long. You're getting too aggressive for your own good. I think you need to learn some more common sense.
I do?
Ranga looked shocked. He must not have realized it.
Look, are you really sticking to what I told you back at the last fight? You weren't going too far, were you?
I would never do that, my master.
Ranga looked uncertain, and Rimuru was starting to get suspicious. Gapta and Gabble, Rimuru recalled, would only say things like, oh, he was fine. And, yes, having Sir Ranga at our side was a tremendous boon, when Rimuru asked for a report. It sounded fishy, but he never followed up on it. It just seemed like an invitation for further headaches, and Rimuru was leaving that to Diablo anyway. If he had no complaint, Rimuru just assumed all was well. Maybe I was just kicking the issue down the road, but ah well. If there really was a problem, I would have heard about it. Better trust in Ranga for now and make sure Xian doesn't poison his mind any further. Rimuru patted Ranga on the neck.
Ranga, buddy? Seriously, don't do anything crazy, okay?
I wouldn't dare.
He replied, solemnly nodding.
Good, now go relay that message, okay? And if anyone's free on our security team, I'd like them to guard Mjolmile for me. Check on that, could you?
Yes, master.
He disappeared back into Rimuru's shadow. So now Mjolmile was under guard, albeit behind the scenes so he didn't pick up on it. Rimuru didn't know who would come to guard Mjolmile, but there weren't that many people on the security staff Rimuru would trust with solo duty. The new guys were out of the question, so it'd have to be at least a seasoned sergeant class officer. Here, sergeant refers to a sort of team leader, the head of the groups of 5 that the force usually operated in. They were usually around a B rank in adventurer parlance, more than qualified enough for bodyguard duty. Rimuru could personally keep tabs on Mjolmile's whereabouts once he was in Rimuru's town, but in the meantime, if something happened to Mjolmile over here, Rimuru would find out immediately. Thus, he felt safe in saying hello to Fuse for a little bit. So Rimuru headed into the Free Guild's headquarters in Bloomond. Last time he was here, he made more of a splash than he meant to, so he was worried about a repeat. But despite a few threatening glares, Rimuru made it to the reception counter without a peep. Rimuru was wearing that mask the previous time. Maybe nobody recognized him, but if they wouldn't let him see Fuse, Rimuru could just leave an invitation letter for him and head back home.
Hey yo, I'm Rimuru, but can you take me to see Guild Master Fuse? Oh, here's my ID.
Rimuru burped the card out of his stomach and handed it to the woman at the counter.
That little girl's an adventurer?
Rimuru heard someone exclaim behind him, but no matter. He was used to it. The lady remembered him, at least.
Ah yes, Rimuru, it's good to see you here again. How have you been?
Oh, great. You're looking quite well, yourself.
I sure am. And I see you've passed the examination over at HQ and made it to B+, huh? Well done. You have my respect.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? I really wanted to score an A, but I got kind of busy, so.
Or really, it was too much of a pain in the ass to bother. Being ranked B or higher gave you a lot of perks, but it also came with more responsibilities. B+ was enough drudgery to deal with, so Rimuru figured he could earn his promotion only when he really needed to. Not like it was a salaried position or anything. Like a volunteer fireman, Rimuru would be tapped for duty whenever certain kinds of danger came along. In exchange, he got easier admission into foreign countries, as well as free food and boarding at guild branches. Rimuru appreciated the perks, sure, but he didn't really like being forced to do anything. But why rain on people's parade?
Oh, I'm sure you'd pass with flying colors, Rimuru. I'll be cheering you on.
You think? Well, thank you.
Rimuru sure can't resist a young lady looking at him with those sparkling eyes, no. At least, not until she drops a bomb on him.
By the way, Rimuru, it must be annoying to share a name with a demon lord, isn't it? If you like, you could take advantage of our renaming system to change your name in the guild archives, if you find it's causing you trouble. That'll let you conduct guild activity in areas where your face isn't well known yet, albeit at one rank grade below your current one. What do you think?
Oh, crap, I forgot. Here I am, a demon lord, and I went and put that same damn name on all my paperwork. And now that Rimuru Tempest, the newbie in the octagram, was a household name around the world, I guess being Rimuru the adventurer would present a few issues. Time to retire from the guild, maybe? If I really needed to work as an adventurer, I guess I could consider that renaming system. It'd be starting at the B rank, but that's good enough for me. Pretty helpful system, there.
Thanks for telling me about that. I'll keep that in mind. Now, do you think I might be able to see the guild master?
Right away. And yes, feel free to ask anytime.
It took a little conversation, but she let Rimuru right in.
That's it for this video, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon so you will never miss the upcoming continuation of Tensura spoiler video series. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shout out to the top 10 commenters on my previous video. Shout out to 04 Sarang, Autisticleamer 420, O Movie Clinton, Tempest, Brian Prado, Kuan Shuan, Hare, Bunjin Cozy de la Lisa, Mazen Zold, Bunny, Cool Midnight Blue, Cal Robs, Agent KRL, Paul Araza, Chad Vota, and last but not the least, shout out to Maki Bailey. I'll see you guys in the next video.